Dito natin titingnan kung ang mga paratang ay umaabot sa pamantayan para sa impeachment. This is the stage where we ask, do the allegations rise to the level of impeachable offenses? Do these complaints meet the constitutional threshold to move forward? And importantly, are the allegations credible enough to justify moving forward with the process?
Inabot ng 5 oras ang ikalawang araw ng deliberasyon ng House Justice Committee sa impeachment complaints laban kay Vice President Sara Duterte. Tinalakay ngayong araw ang 6 na grounds for impeachment sa ikatlong reklamo sa Vice Presidente. Layo nito na tukuyin kung sufficient in substance ang reklamong inihain ng ilang religious leaders at abogado na inendorso ni mamayang Liberal Party List Representative Leila de Lima. Inisa-isang tinalakay ang 6 na grounds for impeachment at mga partikular na aligasyon laban sa pangalawang Pangulo, pangunahin na ang maanumalyang paggamit ng confidential funds nito. Sa pagdinig, nabanggit ni Representative de Lima na suportado ang aligasyon ng documentary evidence, House records at Commission on Audit findings at mayroon din umanong ilang dokumentong pinirmahan mismo ng Vice Presidente. Nabanggit din ang mga akusasyon ng umano'y dating bagman at aide ni VP Duterte na si Ramil Madriaga na inutusan umano ng Vice Presidente para mag-deliver ng malalaking halaga ng salapi sa iba't ibang tao.
We are trying to impeach the Vice President. This distribution of money, of the confidential funds, ultimately benefited the Vice President. I read through all the entirety of the complaint, and there is no specific allegation that the money was indeed, that the money indeed went to the Vice President. Does rapid disbursement alone constitute an impeachable offense? Does it establish illegality? Confidential funds may be disbursed quickly due to operational requirements.
Nakita natin yung mga acknowledgements receipts ng mga which appear to be questionable and fictitious names. These were approved by the Vice President herself. May pirma siya sa certain documents as attached. Pinapakita po na yung 125 million na yon hindi napunta sa dapat puntahan ng such a sensitive funds as confidential or intelligence funds. We can actually say that this were simply appropriated by VP Sara for her personal gain. Kapag hindi napunta dun sa dapat puntahan, at sabi nga sa affidavit ni Ramil Madriaga, ay ito ay napunta sa iba-ibang tao na ano ba sila? Hindi naman sila part of anything. Wala namang sinabi, there was no report, neither the Vice President nor the OVP reported any loss of the 125 million confidential funds. Dahil nga, napunta sa mga ganyan.
Pinagtalunan naman ng ilang kongresista kung sakop ba ng jurisdiksyon ng House Justice Panel ang mga aligasyong maanumalyang paggamit ng confidential funds ng Department of Education ng kalihim pa ng ahensya si VP Duterte, gayon din ang umani ginawang panunuhol sa ilang kawani ng DepEd.
Section 2 of Article 11 enumerates the officials that will be impeached. I cannot see here the Secretary of DepEd to be impeached. In other words, Madam Chair, these allegations about actuations of Vice President Sara as a duly appointed Secretary of Education is not within the jurisdiction of an impeachment court. We're not impeaching here a Secretary of Education.
We're talking here as one person, same person, si VP Sara, as both the Vice President and the DepEd Secretary. And we can also say that this is also part of the pattern, the scheme, in those that we allege, the complainants allege to be attributable to the VP, is also attributable to her in her concurrent capacity as DepEd Secretary, because nga, nandyan yung modus, it's the same modus.
Such actions of the Vice President as Secretary of Education are within the jurisdiction of the Committee on Justice.
Naging mainit din ang usapin sa alegasyong matinding pagbabanta ng Vice Presidente sa buhay ni na Pangulong Ferdinand Marcos Jr., First Lady Lisa Araneta Marcos at dating House Speaker Martin Romualdez.
The VP said that she hired someone to kill. If she herself was killed, lo and behold, they are both alive. So ibig sabihin, walang overt action which was done. You know, sometimes when I go home late, my wife always threatens to kill me. Sabi sa akin ng asawa ko, papatayin kita na eh. Umaga ka na naman umuwi. And you know, my wife is the queen of our home, ha? And she is highly respected by everyone in our household. But you know, I am still alive, and my wife only kills me with love.
I do not know if he is lawyering for the Vice President, because I would even think that he is right now defending her. That is not political noise, just like what he's saying about his wife. That is a red flag for national stability and constitutional order. Why? The Vice President is not a private citizen. The wife of Congressman Suntay is a private citizen, but not the Vice President.
Naniniwala naman si Negros Oriental 3rd District Representative Janice Ticamo na seryoso ang aligasyong ito laban sa Vice Presidente.
My husband, the late Governor Degamo, he received threats before he was tragically murdered. Like, if you do this, something will happen. But then even though they were conditional, the fear and intimidation they caused were very real. Conditional threats can turn into actual harm. Nangyari po yun sa amin. When the VP reportedly made statements implying harm to the President, the First Lady, and the former Speaker, those statements are serious, even if phrased as conditional. Kasi words from someone in her position carry weight. It can intimidate other officials, it can influence decision, and even undermine public trust. A threat does not have to be absolute or immediate to be serious. What matters is its potential impact.
Ilan pa sa tinalakay ng House Justice Committee ang hindi maipaliwanag na yaman at umano'y pagpalyang ilantad ng lahat ng ari-arian sa Statement of Assets, Liabilities and Net Worth o SALN ng Vice Presidente. Gayun din ang mga hakbang nitong nagpapahina umano sa pamahalaan at umano'y inciting to sedition at insurrection. March 4 naman tatalakayin kung sapat ba ang nilalaman ng ika-4 na reklamong impeachment at target ng desisyon na ng House Justice Committee ang sufficiency in substance ng 2 impeachment complaints. Rosa Licoz, UNTV News and Rescue. Diyos ang aming sandigan, serbisyo publiko ang aming pinahahalagahan.